take you down here to what I'm doing today, and that is planting Vortex pole beans. And it's in these 10 containers on this particular one. Now that's the first one. I just thought of something. Notice the screen in there. I'm going to show you what that is in just a second. But I wanted to talk about, one, I'm putting about 10 in each one of these, and I'll thin them to 4 to 6, somewhere in there. And you can, if you look close, you can see the seed all the way across here. And what I do when I do it, because if you push straight down on the seed, you'll split it, or you could split it. So what I do is I push down with the tip of my finger, and the seed's kind of on the side of my finger and kind of follows my finger in. So that's important if you don't want to split the seed, which will cause it to not germinate. So that's what I do, just like this. And the seed just kind of follows its way in right behind it. And then I take and I do this and cover it, and then I'll pat it a little bit. What I'm doing with these screens is, this is microgreen screens, and the microgreen screens are, it's leftover material from the microgreen screens. And so what I'm using it with for is a vapor barrier, because I don't want the seed to dry out at all. So I'm just taking a little bit from the sides here after I put it down over the seed area. And what that'll do is that'll hopefully help keep the moisture in over the seed till it germinates well. Now this is not strong enough to block seed. I know from growing microgreens for many years now, the seed is extremely strong. It can lift a lot more weight than you'd ever imagine. So when they start coming up, the screen is going to start popping up, and I'll know it. Plus I'll check it probably from time to time over the next few days. So I'll bring you back after they germinate. Oh, first I got to water it in, and then, well, I won't show that part, but essentially I'm just using the sprayer and with the hose. I'm not using the watering yet, because this is the only crop that I'm direct seeding. Everything else, the squash, the cucumbers, winter and summer squash, watermelons, melons, tomatoes, everything, peppers, all of that are in container, or little 2x2s, or sometimes a little smaller. But anyway, this is the only one I'm direct seeding. Let's take a look. It's been 4 or 5 days since I planted them. I'll put it in the video here, and you can see here that it's rising up. And you know why that's doing that, don't you? Of course. It's because they're starting to sprout. And as they sprout, they lift up the mix here as they penetrate. And then once I take this off and water it down, that raised area will settle down a little bit. But I'm going to let it go till tomorrow or the next day. They're doing it in all the areas, and that shade, this little piece of screen, is keeping it moist. Like, this is damp compared to this area over here. So it's worked out pretty good. I'm liking it. It looks like the germination is going to be pretty good for me. I'll bring you back in a couple days, 3 days, and show you what it looks like as they've come through the mix. That's what the green beans look like now. Vortex poles, and I cut it down to, I thinned to 6 per pot. Those are 10-gallon containers. That should grow me a good mess of green beans, hopefully for a while. Sprint, you guys. We'll see you later.
How long do we gotta stay here for people we don't know in one lines? All of the clothes are designer, fast cars and